Thanks for joining us on WFAA Plus. I am Jobin Paniker.
And I'm Tiffany Liu, and we are here in Grand Prairie at Asia Times Square, where it is the perfect backdrop to celebrate Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
That is a mouthful. AANHPI. Now that acronym covers a lot of ethnic groups from Asia as well as the Pacific Islands, and a lot of us call Texas home. According to census numbers, North Texas had the largest gaining Asian population in the country, adding more than 44,000 people from 2022 to 2023, bringing the total to just over 692,000 Asians in Texas. And let's zoom in just a little bit more. The biggest boom is in Collin County. Just last year, the Asian population there grew by 70%, the most of any county in the state and the country. So it is safe to say that there is a lot of Asian pride here.
Yeah, a lot of legacy and resilience too. And over the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you those stories. From a Vietnamese immigrant who found the American dream in the most unlikely place to the story of a woman who's preserving North Texas Asian history. And that Asian pride we're talking about, we're highlighting the success of Asian Texans, the ones our kids look up to.
And we want to start by looking back at our history. And like with a lot of minority groups, that history can be pretty dark, especially here in Texas.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that there were once internment camps right here in Texas, even here in North Texas. The U.S. imprisoned Japanese people during World War II. I recently traveled to Seagoville, the site of one of those camps, and then I flew to San Jose to speak to the descendant of one of those prisoners who worries lessons from decades ago are being ignored today. In Seagoville, Texas, a federal prison today had a different purpose 80 years ago.
My great-grandmother was sent to Seagoville in Texas.
During World War II, Kinzo and Misao Ishibashi were some of the first Japanese Latin Americans taken from their home.
They actually were brought here forcibly by the U.S. government, and it wasn't by choice that they had come.
Kinzo was an entrepreneur.
This is their merchandise business in Callao.
And he founded a school in Callao, Peru.
So they targeted educators, religious leaders, businessmen, and community leaders.
Because of his success.
He was one of the first to be targeted.
After Pearl Harbor and under the Alien Enemies Act, the U.S., in partnership with some Latin American countries, deported and interned thousands of people of Japanese descent from countries like Peru. Kinzo and his wife were put on a U.S. military ship June of 1942. They were processed at Camp Algiers in New Orleans, then separated. Kinzo went to the Kennedy Alien Detention Camp, and his wife was sent to Seagoville.
And they considered them enemy aliens.
To the government, they were a national security threat. But to Becky Shibayama, they were great-grandparents.
So this is Kinzo and Misao, and she's holding my father.
From her childhood home in San Jose, California, she shares their hardships from internment camps in Texas because it continues to shape her family for generations.
My father, being the oldest son, spent his summers with his grandparents.
Becky's dad, Art Shibayama, was 12 when Kinzo and Misao were taken.
No, he was never able to see them again, which is really heartbreaking because he was so close to them.
In November 1942, Kinzo was transferred to Seagoville internment camp, reunited with his wife. Then less than a year later, September 1943.
They were used in a prisoner exchange. So they were sent back to war-torn Japan in exchange for American civilians who were trapped in the Far East war zones.
Pried from their home, separated, and imprisoned.
It says accompanied by wife, Misao, age 53.
Kinzo and Misao died in Japan, away from the life they built in Peru.
And they lost everything.
The same year they were used in a prisoner exchange, Becky's father, along with her aunts, uncles, grandmother, and grandfather, were also taken from Peru and forced on a ship for 21 days.
He said it was really bad. It was especially for the men who were kept below deck. They were only allowed to go above deck and get fresh air for 10 minutes, twice a day.
They were sent to an internment camp in Crystal City, Texas.
Breaks my heart to see how they used to live and how all of that was taken away.
After 3 generations of internees, Becky's parents remained in the United States and started from scratch.
My father went to night school.
Art became an auto mechanic, settling in a Japanese-American community of San Jose, where he opened a service station just a mile away from the home he raised Becky in.
It just shows their resilience, and yeah, I'm just proud of my father and his family because they had to go through so much.
As much as there's been progress over the last 8 decades,
Immigrants are being scapegoated, just like they were in World War II.
Becky fears the Trump administration is pushing the centuries-old Alien Enemies Act that hasn't been used since the Shiba-yamas were interned.
I think it's so important, especially during the current times, that we preserve the history, that we know what happened so that we can prevent it from happening again.
It's why she shares their painful journey in hopes it won't repeat. In Seagoville, I'm Tiffany Liu.
Now, for many families, the story of the Asian American experience is one of immigration. That's what makes North Texas the melting pot it is now.
Yeah, North Texas has the largest Korean population in the state. And census numbers back in 2020 showed we had the 4th largest Vietnamese population, right behind San Jose, Los Angeles, and Houston.
There's a huge South Asian population too. DFW is home to more than 200,000 South Asians, including people from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. And that growth is reflected in our daily lives here in the DFW area. Did you know that Indian Americans own 5% of businesses in Dallas, Tarrant, Collin, and Denton counties? And now we're finding South Asians in public office too.
Please be seated. Good evening, Council. Now time is 7:07. Let me call to order the meeting.
We sat down with 3 South Asians in public office.
I'm Saji George. I'm the mayor of town of Sunnyvale, Texas.
All 3 hold elected positions from different cities.
I'm Elizabeth Abraham, and I'm the Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Murphy.
My name is Tony Singh. I'm a councilman for Town of Little Elm.
All 3 know they represent the fastest growing minority group in Texas, but maybe also the least politically active. So we wield all this power we don't use, essentially, is what you're saying.
Essentially, yes.
Chanda Parbu is with Save Texas Education Fund. They mobilize South Asians to be civically engaged. Before they were elected, they volunteered.
Served on a couple of boards, got a little bit more experience in city government.
Public service for me is an extension of what they already do in their life. I'm just trying to clarify, make sure everybody's on the same page.
Saji George is on his 5th term as mayor. 15 years total in public office. It started with his efforts on a school bond.
I never had a desire or vision to be in politics. This is about merit and willingness to serve.
Second thing is
Tony Singh is starting his 3rd term in Little Elm, where 2% of the electorate is South Asian, which meant he had to knock on a lot of doors.
You represent everybody. Your job is to do what is best for the city.
Now, therefore, I, Elizabeth Abraham.
Elizabeth Abraham has been on council since 2019. She once lost a runoff by 2 votes.
My story there is every vote matters. That was tough to come back from that. I do get a lot of, I'm glad you're doing this. I want to be that inspiration to the young girls.
Including her own 2 girls.
I think it's inspiring to have these people get elected. Just the fact that we have people running for office is starting to bring light to our issues.
All 3 have managed the scrutiny that comes with public office. All 3 also have other real jobs, but they understand the impact their roles have, directly and indirectly.
Either you're part of a table or you're part of the menu.
There are more South Asians running, naturally, because there are more South Asians arriving to North Texas. Frisco alone had 7 South Asians running in this May election, an encouraging sign.
I don't think you could categorize South Asians into one bucket.
Representation is one of the strongest tools we have to combat voter apathy, and it inspires others to lead.
You have to be part of the solution you advocate for.
And if you did not know, there is a large Pacific Islander community here in North Texas.
Have you heard of Tonga? It's an island country in Polynesia, and while it might seem random, there is a large Tongan population in Euless. There's a rich tradition there, one you'll see every Friday night during high school football season. The haka has been performed at Euless Trinity Games for more than 20 years. The Polynesian war dance has attracted national attention and a way for young Tongans to show their pride. The first Tongans, by the way, arrived in Euless back in the 70s because they worked for American Airlines. Hunmies, she's making bagels. Coming up, how a Vietnamese immigrant found the American dream inside a Jewish deli in Dallas.
You know, it's American dream. I just say, America, I love you.
Plus, preserving our past, one group's mission to keep our Asian history alive.
And as we head to break, we're sharing more stories of our AANHPI community. Here's Sydney Persing.
Hangul touch, okay?
This is Globus, a tiny fencing club tucked in a strip mall in Farmers Branch, where an unbelievably elite coach is producing unexpectedly elite athletes.
이 상태로 가가지고 뻥 때려야 되잖아.
His name is Shokun Lee, and he trains North Texas fencers almost entirely in Korean.
여기까지 몸 날아가지.
Lee represented Korea in the Seoul and Atlanta Olympic Games. Then he was tapped as Olympic team coach. For years, Coach Lee built champion after champion in Korea. Then in 2018, moved a world away.
한번 이 미국이라는 땅에서 내가 한번.
I thought it might be time for another challenge, he told me through a translator.
For someone of that caliber to come to the South, we didn't even know how long it would last.
Somehow Coach Lee is able to train
Good job, boom.
with the few English words he's learned.
Good, okay. Yes, good.
In America, the sport of fencing is dominated by powerhouse clubs in coastal states like New York and California. Folks from those coastal states are now moving to North Texas to train with Coach Lee.
Aye.
More proof he can train anyone and make them great.
Oh, yes, good.
Tonight is the 50th anniversary of Royal China.
Royal China, a restaurant off Preston and Royal in Dallas, is celebrating big.
That is my grandfather, his big booming laugh. Now my dad definitely has that same thing.
April and George Gao have seen so many changes since 1974. From the original menu,
$1.85.
one thing remains the same.
We love people.
My dad greets every customer like, hey, how are you, my man? And my mom's in the dumpling bar. To feel like I'm a part of this now is truly an honor.
Joanne Cao and her sister Jolene Cao. Now adults appreciate what their parents built.
They are the hardest working people I know. I'm so... Here come the waterworks.
The family will celebrate 50 years.
He's my brother.
Thank employees past and present, and show gratitude to the most loyal royal customers.
Wow.
Cheers.
But after my surgery, you came to see me. You were at Harry's bar mitzvah.
The Gaos are ready for 50 more.
There is a lot of Asian American history right here in North Texas.
And Chris Sadeghi introduces us to a Dallas woman who is preserving our past one story at a time.
Do you know your story? How do you know it?
I was born in South Korea.
Stephanie Drinka had to search for hers.
At the age of 3 months old, I was adopted by a white American family from Chicago.
Where she came from, who she came from. A puzzle she's been solving piece by piece.
History has always been something that I have been drawn to because I didn't know my own.
That curiosity is now piecing together a story beyond her own.
The first documented Asian in Dallas was J.L. Chow.
Stephanie is co-founder of the Dallas Asian American Historical Society, a nonprofit telling the story of Asians in the city from the beginning.
It's not something that we learn in textbooks.
A city they helped build.
The earliest Chinese immigrants in North Texas, we think, were Chinese laborers from the railroads.
Railroads responsible for turning Dallas into a major metro area, which is why the Historical Society's new office is in a most appropriate building.
This hallway that we're in was where they used to load and unload goods onto the trains. So even this building wouldn't exist had it not been for Chinese labor.
Inside, the story continues.
They pivoted to Chinese restaurants and they opened restaurants downtown. An item as, seemingly innocuous as like a matchbook can be historically significant.
It's items like these Stephanie and the Historical Society are collecting, digitizing, and preserving.
Everything is a clue, all of these were just breadcrumbs that led us to people and their stories and their family's history.
They hope more families share their history because it's all part of the puzzle.
When I put all of those pieces together, I realized not only, why I was here, but also how much history can shape someone's sense of belonging and identity.
By knowing the whole story, piece by piece. In Dallas, I'm Chris Sadek.
Looking back at our history, did you know that until 1952, federal law barred immigrants of Asian descent from voting in the United States? The McCarran-Walter Act lifted all restrictions on Asian immigrants becoming naturalized U.S. citizens, fully opening the pathway to citizenship and exercising our right to vote. To put that in perspective, Asians have only been allowed to vote for about 70 years. But there is still a long way to go. Right now in Austin, there is legislation that many Asian Americans say it's making them feel discriminated against. It gives the governor the power to prevent people from buying land based on what country they are from. As Natalie Haddad explains, a push for national security is impacting immigrant lives.
Texas lawmakers, Republican-backed legislation. It's what could stand in the way of specific groups of people from buying land here in a prosperous Texas.
A bill that we've seen before but has been improved.
SB 17. It's Senate Bill 17, House Bill 17, House Bills 2536 and 1849. It's the effort to block those living in China, North Korea, Iran, and Russia from buying land in Texas, be it for farming, residential use, or commercial development.
Members, Senate will come to order.
Senator Lois Kolkhorst authored SB 17, the bill leading this effort. She says Texas needs more national security protection.
To protect our land, food sources, natural resources like oil and gas, timber, and maybe our most precious of all resources, Senator Perry, water.
Around 5.7 million acres in Texas are foreign-owned, the most out of any state, according to the USDA. China only accounts for about 3.6% of that land, about 124,000 acres. However, Senator Kolkhorst believes the country poses a significant threat.
Members, Senate Bill 17 is about ensuring that Texas's land and natural resources do not fall into the hands of an adversarial nation or their agents.
Critics and protesters, including here in North Texas, call the bill un-American.
That really brings a lot of impact to our community, our economy, and our business.
This is the second attempt by state lawmakers to pass similar legislation. The first time around, Kolkhorst drafted Senate Bill 147. Like now, there were concerns it could lead to discrimination. According to one North Texas residential business owner, it led to fear and confusion.
When SB 147 came out, we had terminated 17 contracts for the residential new build. And now the house being built halfway, and maybe when the bill came out, they're no longer to qualify to buy, which their green card status is pending right now. So the builder doesn't know what to do, the client doesn't know what to do.
Senate Bill 17, its House bill equivalent and those similar like it, stir up old feelings. For foreigners who want a piece of the American dream.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members.
Despite the Americans who want to safeguard it.
If you grew up like me, you may have had parents that wanted you to be a doctor or an engineer, but never an athlete.
Yeah, there are a lot of Asians right now making it big in pro sports. We'll take a look at that after this.
Plus, from pancakes to corned beef, that's not what Anvo imagined she'd be serving up when she immigrated to America. But it's turned her into a successful businesswoman. Her inspirational story just ahead. Inside the Buddhist temple, Wat Saginaw, there is unspoken respect for a calm ritual that dates to the 14th century. And the respect follows outside sanctuary doors. Selfless offerings are given to the monks on Lao New Year by every generation.
Thank you.
Those who know the drill and those who are still learning. For some, it's a father-daughter yearly tradition started by grandma.
My mom always took me as a kid, so it's just stuck as a habit.
This is the largest Lao New Year celebration in the United States in a neighborhood densely populated with Laotians.
I'm proud to be Laos.
And there's no better way to celebrate pride than with a parade.
Max Yao was always built like an athlete.
I did several sports when I was back home, like in basketball. Most Asian parents here, they just care about the academic.
Going through school in Suzhou in eastern China,
I could never have any chance to train or to compete on a high level.
he thought just maybe he could play basketball in the NCAA.
Take care of my academic to getting in this university first. Then I'm here.
He's an undergrad senior at Southern Methodist University majoring in finance.
There were like 40 people in the tryout and 2 people made it.
Max made SMU's football roster as an offensive lineman with zero knowledge of the sport.
I didn't know anything about football before I came here.
Nothing. You knew nothing?
Nothing. I literally don't know anything.
Did you watch football at all?
No. And all my friends around me, they say like, "Oh, the biggest Chinese I've met." And I think football is a sport for you. Like, I was like, okay, I'll try it.
Suiting up is his American dream, and it's a moment his dad flew in from China to witness.
They're also kind of proud that I can play at this level.
But it is no secret that Asian Americans are underrepresented in pro sports. You know that whole saying, brains over brawn. Well, that perception is fading.
Yeah, like LA Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani, gymnast Suni Lee, and former NBA player Yao Ming. Those are folks who are all changing the perspective. And now we have athletes here in North Texas that are amplifying their culture. For example, there's Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. Jason is just the second Filipino American to play in the NHL. When he was drafted, his parents told him he'd become a role model because little Asian boys and girls will see someone who looks like them and think if he made it, they can too.
Now, South Asians in North Texas have had an eye on Kumar Rocker, a pitcher for the Texas Rangers. Rocker's dad is black, his mom Indian American. Rocker's mom says she wanted to name him Kumar, which means prince in Hindi, as a nod to her Indian heritage. And then there's Jaden Shaw. She's from Frisco, and she's the first Vietnamese American to ever represent the U.S. women's national team. At 19 years old, she also became the team's youngest Olympian during the 2024 Paris Olympics. Jaden fully embraces her Viet roots, even modeling an ao dai for her fans. Well, Tiffany, there are a lot of role models our younger generation can look up to.
Absolutely, and keeping the conversation on sports. We know it's all about football here in Texas. Our Jonah Javad introduces us to a little boy from South Korea who made it here as a head football coach.
Now as a minority coach.
Eli Reinhardt stands outside AT&T Stadium.
This is the first time I've been back
since December, when he and North Crowley football capped off a perfect season with a state title and top 3 national ranking.
The Panthers bring home a state championship to Fort Worth.
Reinhardt was the offensive coordinator, the mastermind behind an offense that averaged 54 points a game.
How old were you when you drew up your first play?
Oh man, probably 4 or 5 years old. I drew up some plays and handed them to my dad as he's out the door to get ready to go to the game.
Born in South Korea, Reinhardt grew up in Michigan, adopted by a football family.
There were a couple of Asian kids in the community, but being a lot different than everybody for the most part, you know, was kind of the norm for me.
His father, Dennis, was a state champion head coach.
It's been a huge part of my development as a coach, but also, you know, developing my love for the game and creating that relationship and that bond with my dad.
After 3 years at North Crowley, Reinhardt recently accepted the job of head football coach at Hutto High School outside Austin. A bigger opportunity to prove himself, but also a bigger stage to inspire young kids, especially those who look like him.
You know, getting more people or more kids in the Asian community interested in the game of football and seeing more representation of coaches, I think would attract more kids to maybe explore those avenues.
In Arlington, I'm Jonah Javad.
We are all here because our families wanted something better. They wanted the American dream.
Yeah, and we recently met a woman who found that American dream in an unlikely place. Sydney Persing introduces us to a woman from Vietnam who found her spot in a Jewish deli.
How are we doing today?
Good, how are you?
All good.
It's not every day you find a New York-style deli in a Texas strip mall next to a casket store.
When I first walked in, they know what I want.
It's really good food. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
There's no question, though, this place is the real deal.
There's not another menu in Dallas as extensive.
Well, the food is terrific.
And there's so much more that makes Cindy's one of a kind.
And you go, wait a minute, what do people from Vietnam know about corned beef?
Owner An Vo knows a lot.
Everything okay? Yeah, okay, thank you.
But it wasn't always so easy. Her story starts in 1975.
She was a young wife and a new mom in Vietnam.
We had no freedom in democracy, and we don't know our future, and we're so scared.
And yet, she and her husband boarded a small boat with their 19-day-old baby.
Never see my family again. Never come back to my country.
Alone, with no money, no education, no knowledge of English, An and her husband started over in a place called Dallas, Texas.
I came here, my heart broken. I get so sad. I'm crying all the time. The one thing I know, I'm willing to do everything, try to survive,
An got to work as a seamstress, saved every penny for years, until she had just enough to take over the lease on a small deli called Cindy's that had just closed down.
I never work at the restaurant, but I know I can learn. I know I can learn. If just give me time, I figure how to do it.
The best way to do it, she figured, was to keep the deli pretty much the same. That made the landlord curious.
He asked me what restaurant I open. For sure I'm Asian, maybe Asian, but I say Jewish deli. But had no idea what the Jewish deli is. I didn't know any Jewish person.
She met one, and An saw her first ever bagel.
And she bought the bagel and she showed me, this bagel is not a donut, okay? That one, okay. So always willing to learn, willing to do everything because I don't know very much, so everything is new to me.
She proved to be a quick learner.
Matzo ball soup, the Reuben, pastrami, corned beef, Nova.
And a very hard worker. Nearly 40 years later, An owns and operates 4 Cindy's across DFW.
Got the lemon lime. Okay, so now they're identical.
Ladies will tell you there's no better place to be.
They're friendly here. They treat you like their family.
Fellas will tell you there's no better food to eat.
A roast beef sandwich.
It's corned beef on rye with spicy mustard.
They know I don't want too much mayo.
And potato salad and coleslaw. I'm happy. And a Dr. Brown's cherry soda.
And as much as customers adore Cindy's, An says she adores them more because they walked in the door before she ever knew a thing about corned beef.
They were so nice. They're very nice, very open-minded, open heart, and they welcome me just the way I am.
Okay, yeah, so keep the change here, put this in here. I feel like family here.
I always say, only in America, and I believe that always.
And only in Texas can you find a story of guts and grit quite like An's.
It's American dream. I just say, America, I love you.
And she certainly loves you back.
Yes, I will see you again. Yes.
In Dallas.
It's a real treat to get to come in here.
I'm Sydney Persing.
Well, we hope you learned something today, and for all of our Asian American friends out there is so much to be proud of.
And we should be celebrating our heritage every single day. Thank you so much for joining us. From Asia Times Square, I'm Tiffany Liu.
And I'm Jobin Panikar. And in Malayalam, they say, "Na pinne kaanam," which means I'll see you later.
And in Mandarin, they say, 再见.